sheet's updated in the actual tabletop. So, Whomst is going to play Whomst. Caleb, you pick first.
No, I pass.
Okay, John, you
I
pick
passed.
first.
All right.
Colin.
I'll pick Philibert.
Philibert.
Didn't you play him last time? Oh no, you
No,
picked
he
him.
played
No,
Carlin.
I played. Yeah, I
Are
played
you actually
Coleman
going to
last
use
time.
your gift?
Oh
I
wait, yeah,
will.
Philibert's fine. This is the first time Philibert's being played.
Is that true?
Yep.
Yes, no one has played Philibert.
Because yeah, stats were terrible. Why would anybody
He's
play
coming
as
for the final
Because
battle.
it's not about the stats, Common. It's about the rule.
the Pegasus?
He's come for the final battle.
With this Pegasus. What is the name of the Pegasus?
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Rarity.
I didn't.
Yikes. John, who are you picking?
Celestia.
I pass. It's Caleb's turn.
Oh my fucking god.
No, I pass.
No, you can't pass. I already passed.
I passed first.
Yeah, I passed after you.
So I called John's name. John, pick a fucking character.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go with Lutz.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Wolf.
Okay.
No, I'd like you to play Wolf because bring it back full circle, you know. Also, don't forget that Wolf has a gift, Caleb, that allows him to change a failed charm roll to a success once per venture.
Nice.
So you should definitely take advantage of that, considering he has a very bad charm.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Okay. So, per your emails, per your last request, distribute. We got Lutz, we got Wolf, and I don't have a thing for Philibert, so we'll just keep Carlman as his, as his fucking icon. All right. So here is the skin. Oh shit! I need to get the watch together up. What am I doing? In the meantime, I'll do a recap. You guys went to Spur finally. Sort of a southern rockland, south side of the mountains. Rocky cliff faces. You went to a place called Calwert, following rumors of just straight up Urbaja presence. You passed through many abandoned villages, followed along some refugees, got to a fort, snuck your way in after some interesting.
Rat?
Yep, you got a rat. You make your way in. We discover a little bit more of Wolf's backstory, which just is spectacular because it goes very poorly for him and great for everyone else. Basically, after that, you figure out where roughly this thing is. It turns out it's a Yoggoth that is basically just like the movie The Blob, where it's just big amoeba just absorbing everything in its path. You guys go to confront it. After some preparation, you're able to negate its big power move where it creates a huge storm that would basically prevent all of you from ever getting the advantage ever. And then destroy it. Many undead and demonic presences remain, and Atamar, in the power move of the century, casts Wrath at its maximum effective area, and solves the problem. But in doing so, it seems they've created a new one, and that's where we come to this venture. Who wants to be the person that starts gathering folks together? Who wants to be in charge of that? Last time Wolf was the one that was like, hey guys, let's go do this thing.
There's still a problem in his homeland.
I'd be Wolf again.
Okay. Wolf, you're like, hey, Atamar fucked up last time. You know, we got to report this to the king, but as soon as that's done, we got to get back and take care of that type of deal. You have not left your own creations to their own devices before. For the most part, you guys have sort of just been solving other problems where you can. You've only encountered Amborion zones big time once before, and that was at the tower over in Tamarion, where you guys encountered some ghouls. Ingfrieder turned themselves into a lich, and that basically got Amborion real pissed, and that sort of spiraled out of control brilliantly. Now we come to the point. Here's what you have gathered from the knowledge that you got from sort of the piece of history. The circle has been poring over it, as well as the enchanted sword that you brought back. They were successfully able to, one, remove the enchantment. Would have created all sorts of, because keeping an enchanted item places tends to go poorly, because it starts to sort of spread its little influence in subtle ways. So they figured it was better off taken care of after some study. Essentially, what was found out is that for the most part, magic seemed to have been brought into this world by people. And so it stands to reason that perhaps people is also its way out. However, a solid method has not quite been discerned just yet. It seems that killing the caster does not necessarily make the problem entirely go away. I mean, after all, zones are persistent, it seems. But that's potentially some food for thought for the wizards of this venture. Speaking of which, if you are not a wizard, select your spells for the venture based on your wits. So, Philibert, you've got 3 wits. You have to have both white and black spells. It's essentially the amount of points that you have to allocate. Same thing with Lutz. Wolf, you're a wizard. You don't have to worry about it.
You're a wizard.
I'm hemming and hawing with one of them, but I think I'm going to go.
Okay. One thing about Philibert, he is not a professional. He's a peasant. Professional is for entertainer high. He is quite clearly an entertainer low. Just for reference. Unless you want to make him a high entertainer, in which case, by all means. I mean, you just have to choose one or the other, since I think he was your character, right?
It's Collins.
Yeah, I ended up making him.
Colin, do you want to make him a rock star or a jester? Like small time or big time?
A rock star.
All right, he's entertainer high.
Okay, entertainer high. We'll get to that later. Just make a note of it for now.
We're not going to need the character sheets after this.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Lutz is a free.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to open up the spell list right now.
I have my notes, so now that I know what he truly is, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so y'all start heading back the way you came. It's a lot of back and forth. Travel through the mountains of Rolk, guided by various outdoorsmen, and taken care of quite well, especially you, Philibert. This is your first time going out on one of these ventures, it seems. It promises to be quite exciting from the tales that Wolf has brought to your ears. Many of them would make quite epic ballads for you to present to the people of the Crescent Lands. Poetry, ballads, songs, plays. You've got some solid material from this fella. What else? Lutz, it's, that all, for as much of a romantic vision as Philibert may have of these ventures, you have seen the quite dismal reality of them. I'm sure somewhere in the back of your mind, you're wondering if he can handle it. He seems soft in a way. So,
I've seen the like
Uh,
in Bamberger. They don't make it far.
hmm Wolf, eventually it comes to the point where you have to lead the way again. You start to
yeah, I
come
know the
across
way.
those same abandoned villages. However, now that you sort of know what to look for, um, and you may have sort of missed it on the initial thing, you can kind of see where that initial trail was left by the Yaggoth, and it seems that it has all been replaced. It's just a lot of there's almost sort of these where most of the place is sort of rocky uh, cliffs and valleys, um, almost like a Nevada desert in some places, with some grass and shrub. Um, Although without the desert environment, it's a little more temperate than that, but still very, very rocky, dusty. Um, you notice that there's a lot of just meadows strewn about. And coming upon one of these, uh, you can see that the air quality in them is strikingly clear and vivid, and you recall when you were in the middle of the Amborion zone from the last venture, and how everything sort of has a silvery sheen to it. There's even sort of these little trails of mist through the air, but there's a lot of it, and you can the clouds overhead have, every now and again you can see the glimmering architecture of Amborion.
Hey, Chris, is the Watch Together up?
Oh fuck! I almost forgot about that. Thank you. Creating the room. I just got very busy with the recap that I completely forgot why I was doing the recap to give myself time. Okay. Here is.
Very cool.
Oh, someone did a thing.
Yeah, the art.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because essentially Wrath, when cast at that big of an area, is essentially a nuke. Yeah, it's basically a nuke. All right, there's that. The Watch Together's up. Let me get the ambience. Here we go. All right. Up to you where you would like to go. Most of the villages in the area are abandoned, by what it seems. However, it's probably been a couple of weeks since you've been here, just based on travel time. I'm not sure how long Wolf would wait for coming back. Do you think he would come back immediately, or what?
I would say as soon as possible.
Okay, then yeah, it's probably been about maybe a week, 2 weeks, thereabout. You could probably find your way back to Calwert, I think was what it was called, the fort in the cliffs.
Yeah.
Or you can try and explore a whole new area. Just be aware. While this is Spur, this is not your hometown, so it is possible to get lost, especially if you don't have an outdoorsman. You do have your support staff, though, or you can try and potentially find a survivor in one of the abandoned villages.
Yeah. Wolf is gonna turn over to Lutz and Filbert. Filbert, you don't know, but the Lutz, you do. I don't know if we should go back to the base. The fortress.
That does not sound like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a while.
Dafoe.
It's been a while. You gotta give me a sec.
Yeah.
Lutz, I'm talking to you.
Talking to you.
Lutz.
Hold on. Let me see how I think about that. Yes, I think the fortress is a good idea.
No, I said the fortress. I said the fortress was a bad idea.
I think it's a good idea.
No.
The gods are on my side.
Well, listen here,
All right, then, Philibert, you be the tiebreaker. Conlon, you're muted.
Damn it. Conlon.
Conlon? Philibert! Are you there?
His horse is just looking at me.
Oh, yeah, hold on, sorry. Oh, maybe he's doing something with his parents or something. Yeah, we'll do what you want, Lutz. Yeah, you know the area better than I.
I'm just saying. You remember when we came back to that fortress after we killed the Yaga?
Yes, they did not. They were. Well, I wasn't there. Was I? Was Lutz there?
Yeah, I was
Everyone
playing
there.
Lutz.
It was Lutz,
Oh, that's
Wolf,
right.
Otmar,
Yeah, he was not
and
happy.
Karlman.
They were not happy. Well, Wolf, I have an idea.
What's that?
My gods, tell me of an idea.
You and your gods.
The only thing to destroy such a creature, just destroy such a zone, is to have magic do it. We can't do it ourselves, though. What if you were to summon a creature of darkness in the zone?
Lutz, I will update your information on that front. Based on what you know, all that you do is replace a zone with a different zone when you do that.
Not a zone, right? But summon, like... So what I was thinking was summon a creature, a Rabaja creature. Hopefully an Emborion creature would come out and fuck up the Rabaja creature, and then now that the light creatures are there, we fuck up the light creatures to try to destroy the zone.
Worth a shot.
What do you think, Wolf?
I must be so crazy it might work, but at the same time, Lutz, I've been thinking.
What have you been thinking?
Do you remember our first venture?
I do. Crazy priest tried to lead me off a cliff.
You remember the sword?
I do.
The enchanted sword.
I do.
I left my spear here.
You did.
I'm pretty sure you never picked your spear back up.
Nope.
No. The enchanted spear is more than likely somewhere out there.
We need to retrieve the enchanted spear. And I think that might be the Shrek as well.
Well, the spear isn't enchanted anymore.
Yeah, the enchantment broke when he did not spend Brawn to cast the spell. One thing to note, Wolf, being a wizard, you know for a fact that the zone was created by Otmar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one that cast Wrath, and Wrath explicitly creates
from my
a zone.
thoughts, just from like the first venture, I thought like a magic like welded weapon would.
It's
Well, that's
certainly
the thing. There's no like thing from what I've read that says like, oh, do X to destroy a zone. It's more like, you'll have to find out. Like, try and do it. You know.
Yeah.
So
That's why I mentioned it was the fact that we did leave the spear there, and it was enchanted. But it's not enchanted anymore.
Even then, the zone that is air quotes created with an enchanted weapon is minuscule compared to what Wrath does. Like an enchantment usually is just sort of minor effects that are usually visible after being in a community for a certain amount of time. It's not like it completely erodes the landscape.
Yeah.
It's more so it erodes the minds of people slowly and over time.
Well, I say we look in one of these towns here. I cannot do his voice tonight for whatever reason.
It's all good.
Hand me the keys.
Can we search for one of the through one of the towns, the destroyed towns?
Give me a wits roll, 2d6.
Oh, of course.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
You're fine.
Welcome back.
What was I trying to be a tiebreaker for?
Whether or not
What?
to explore uncharted territory or to go back to the fort.
Also, I rolled an 18.
An 18. Okay.
Ooh.
When you start exploring, you will not get lost, which is good.
Cool.
So, you say that you're trying to find one of the communities, correct, sir, to see if anyone's still about?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Holy crap. For some reason, the ambience is glitching out. Let me see if I can get a better one for you guys.
The ambience is fine by me.
Really? For some reason, it's like stuttering. For me, at least. I don't know. Alright, we're good. Fuck it. Fuck it. Alright, so you begin like, sort of wandering around. Are you... Okay, whoever's rustling, can you...
Sorry.
Thanks. Do you avoid the Emborion zones, or do you go through them, or what's the idea?
Well, yeah, okay, so what's the landscape? Like, the landscape's, like, torn? Like,
Yeah,
by Emboria?
it's almost like a person who has, like, a really bad skin condition on most of their body.
Yeah.
Where, you know, okay, there's clearly the natural landscape, and then there's the plains. So sort of like the pockets of radiation that you would get in, like, Chernobyl, except it's visible, you know?
Yeah.
So if you go, you, of all people, would be the most at risk, because you are currently marked by Emborion. But that's only if you try and do stuff in the zone that you are at risk of disappearing.
Yeah. I would avoid them for now, personally. That's what I would do.
Okay. So avoiding the zones, you travel through the rockland, and eventually you come upon a sort of small abandoned, or seemingly abandoned settlement. From a distance, you can see a little bit of smoke coming from a longhouse. It seems like what once was a communal farm. It seems like someone's trying to reestablish their way of life, or they're just stubborn and are barely hanging on. Could be worth checking out.
Oh, I say we do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. You make your way down, sort of following along a barely like a footpath that's already starting to not be a footpath anymore, because it's clear that people just haven't been traveling it lately, probably due to the zones that are scattered about the place quite visibly. You come to the village, and or settlement rather, and it seems to be in quite a degree of disarray. It seems as though someone has been trying to do upkeep, but it's almost as if the work of 20 people is only being done by about maybe 3 or 4, perhaps even less.
Attention, women and ladies. Men and women.
What did you just say?
Attention, men and women. I want to see if anyone... What do they do?
So basically, just say fucking hello, is anyone home, like a normal person.
I'm a priest. I'm trying to gather a congregation.
Okay, fair enough. 2 heads poke out of the longhouse door. And they sort of stare at you warily, and they're sort of giving you the once-over. And since you guys have not armored up, they're at least somewhat relaxed for now, but still wary of who you might be. They say, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?"
We're the men who saved you from that horrible storm.
He's like, okay. Well, I suppose, thank you for that. What brings you back over this way? I mean, the work you did surely is done, is it not?
Well, partially. I'm gonna look at Wolf.
I'm glad Otmar isn't here.
Aye. Why are we here again? You
Wolf just decided to check things out, wander about.
Speak to the
instead of going to the
locals.
fort.
Listen, have you seen anything come out of those white spots in the plains?
The man in particular, he's got sort of an unkept beard, sort of looks out over the field. Like, there's not even really a wall around this place. He sort of just looks out at the plains that contrast the sort of brownish red rock. He's like, I think I saw a horse once.
A white horse.
He sort of just shrugs his shoulders. It was a horse.
Well, to be fair,
it was
I
quite a
remember
ways
Filbert's
off.
on a
Didn't come over
Pegasus.
this way.
Well, did it look like this horse right here? And I'm gonna point at Filbert's Pegasus.
Well,
The
horse-
Pegasus is not here.
Yes,
It has to be summoned.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Never mind.
Wait a
he's-
second. What if we were to send the Pegasus into the cloud, like Philibert, to go and
It
check
would
it out?
probably get phased out of existence.
Potentially.
No.
But it's worth a shot.
Yeah. I mean, it's about the only good thing Filbert has going for us.
Well, let's finish this encounter, I suppose.
Yeah.
We'll try. You're from Spur, no?
Yeah, I mean, we live here. Been living here for generations, except for most of the folk that left for
Is it-
Calward.
Is it dilapidated, like the place they live in, or?
They're doing their best to take care of it, but again, like it seems like there's a lot of work that normally would have been done by a much larger amount of people, and it's tended to as best it can be by a much more limited number. It seems like all of the people here are just like 3 farmers and maybe an outdoorsman. Like, that's sort of the extent of things that you would guess.
I see. Well, it looks like you guys could use a hand here. We would be willing to help if, maybe you could provide us some shelter for the night.
More hands, less work. I can definitely, we could definitely use it. My name is Gustav, by the way. Who might you be?
I'm Wolf.
He reaches out, shakes your hand, and then he sort of turns to the rest of you, and sort of, shakes hands and sort of makes niceties. Cool. Anything you all else want to do, or are you guys going to settle in for a little bit?
I think we should wait until night and observe the Emborion zone, because
Sure.
it's going to be, like, illuminating, right?
More than likely, yes.
And then
Yeah.
we could try the Pegasus thing.
Okay.
And then
How
But
summoning
then
a
we're going to help
demon.
them around the house.
how do you folks want to help these folks out? What kind of work do you want to help do? Wolf, being a fisherman, you know how to construct boats. That's basically making its construction to a degree. You could probably do some of the minor fixings up around the place, architecture-wise.
Yeah, I'd
How
do
about-
some maintenance.
Maintenance. Lutz, you are a priest, so you probably are more organizational than anything else. I mean, honestly, these folks are probably fairly isolated. Could maybe do some counseling for them, should you choose, or give them some of the good old hash.
Maybe both.
Philibert, being a high entertainer, you can absolutely work that to your advantage, because yeah, these people look like they have been severely lacking in entertainment for quite some time.
Yeah, I'll lift the spirits.
Good. All right. So for the day, you guys spend, help them out with maintenance. It seems like Gustav has a wife, one of his kids, and then it seems like sort of a cousin of his that is still around, sort of extended family. And basically, you help sort of set things back up. The sagging architecture is propped up a little bit. The holes in the roof are patched up, and some food is brought in for the day. It's pretty paltry. The food that they have here, pretty darn tasteless. It's just pretty much straight off the bone. They don't even have really any spices to speak of. It's basically just meat and bread. And that's really it, and maybe some root vegetables that they got from the garden. Fairly slim pickings, but especially you being the guest of honor, Philibert, you definitely get the choice cuts. How do you wish to entertain these people? What stories do you tell?
I will tell them stories of the great Carlman Oswald.
Okay.
And how he slayed the ochre.
Friend of nature.
How he slayed the ocker. Okay, cool. The people seem fairly into it. Go ahead and it's profession specific, so you don't even need to make a roll in terms of success. You do it, and do it quite well. They seem fairly enraptured with the story, and eventually it does sort of, the night wraps up. These guys don't even have alcohol, by the way. It seems that they ran out some time ago.
What poor souls.
They haven't tried the kerosene.
Lutz, being a counselor, you can see that these folks pretty emaciated. It seems like food has been really difficult for them to get and sustain themselves adequately, especially with so few hands trying to tend to what's left. And especially it's very difficult for the outdoorsmen to find game, especially with all these Amborion zones around, just sort of evaporating everything. It's a big surprise that these people haven't left.
Any particular issues that about the Amborian zone anyone mentions, or just everything else?
They seem a bit cagey about that. Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
I got a 12.
A 12, perfect. Initially, they are sort of hesitant to talk about it, but eventually, sort of as the sun is setting at this point. Philibert had sort of wound down their storytelling, and you sort of settle in for some of the deeper stuff now that sort of trust has been established between you and them. And they tell you that there had originally been more of them even after the evacuation. There had been some additional members of the family, but apparently they had been beset upon by something that had come from the plains and the clouds, and they had attempted to deal with it. They were successfully able to slay what seemed to be some warrior woman, but they all died also in the process. It seemed that even the three of them were fairly outmatched, especially considering most of them were peasants. More than likely they were just fighting with clubs and knives, trying to defend their homes, maybe a spear. So they lost some people recently. More than likely. So they have had some very recent losses, and the psychological wound is still fairly fresh for them.
I'm gonna tell them to stay strong. The gods have sent me here to help you.
They appreciate the sentiment, although they're still very tearful about the whole situation. The burial practice out here is sort of the standard, at least at sea. Normally you would send them out to be burnt on a small boat, but at least this far away from the coast, the best that they could do was a funeral pyre, basically, for them, just so that way they didn't get resurrected by anything, Urbaja or Amborion.
All right then. So fast forward to night.
Sure.
Yes.
Right. Night comes. The members of the family sleep, and the rest of you, meanwhile, get up to your schemes. Let's say that you meet sort of outside, sort of in the central area. It's a somewhat cloudy night, mostly from Amborion being so nearby, and the entire area is sort of vaguely illuminated by the glow that is given off from sort of the irradiated zones. It doesn't spread super far, but it's almost like being illuminated by starlight. Very, very soft lighting.
I say we get closer to it and send Filbert's little Pegasus thing over to it.
What do you say, Philibert?
Let's send them out.
How'd you get this thing, anyways?
I won it in a game. What's a gambling game that they have?
Liar's Dice.
All right, I won it in a game of
You
Liar's
won a
Dice.
The thing is, you don't.
The gift of like Amborion.
Yeah, the Amborion doesn't play Liar's Dice. More than likely, if you want to like dabbling with magic at some point in Philibert's life, would have absolutely gotten him this Pegasus companion.
I believe you.
But that could be a well-placed lie. Okay. Y'all head out toward the edge of the zone. Let's say you head a little bit further to the east, and you find yourself at the edge where, upon close inspection, you can see ever so slowly the red rock of sort of nature itself is just sort of slowly, ever so slowly, just sort of evaporating and being replaced by the plains. It's very, very slow progress, but it's definitely there. You can feel it happening.
You think this was ground zero, Lutz?
I think so. We stood here not that long ago.
Aye. All right, Filbert, send
Do you
her
see
in.
your spear?
No.
The king isn't gonna give you another one. You've lost
I
two
already
men.
have another one.
Yeah, the support staff provides all that.
You forget, Lutz.
Sorry. I jest.
I'm
Filbert taught me that one.
the... What?
It's a pun.
Oh.
Continue.
I am the special commander of the circle. Of course I'd get a new spear.
All right then. I suppose we should send Philibert up to take a look. All right, Philibert, do your thing.
Sorry, what am I trying
You're
to
casting your Pegasus and throwing it into the Amborions.
do? What did we ever figure? Oh, what should I name him? I don't know.
It doesn't necessarily
Dixie.
need a name. It's just your
Lotus.
Pegasus.
All right, so I will. I'll summon the Pegasus and I will send him into the storm.
There isn't a storm. This place is
Oh.
very calm and tranquil. Although you know that it's certainly, well, you've heard that these zones are quite deadly in their own way. Although Amborion is much more subtle in its erosion of things compared to Urbaja.
Okay.
Yeah, you are not able to summon your Pegasus.
Oh,
Yeah, you had to roll for it.
Sell
I
a
fucked
thing.
up the roll.
Do the thing, the charm.
Also, did you guys? I had asked you guys to select your spells before the venture
Yes,
started.
I
don't
sent
think I
it.
gave
I
you.
sent it in the their tabletop territory.
Oh, well, I mean, just for because Philibert is not a wizard, so he needs to have spells picked. So.
I know. I've been trying to get the spell list pulled up, but it's just not loading.
Fair enough. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
I mean, you have a wizard to do shit for you anyway, so up to you.
That's true.
Okay, so you can see Philibert try to summon the Pegasus. He sort of gazes up into the clouds, raises his hands, and sort of just closes his eyes and calls out to it, but nothing comes.
Well, shit.
Maybe you can give him a little persuasion, Wolf, if you catch my drift.
I'm gonna put my... I'm gonna put my hand on Philibert's shoulder and try it again, son. Try it again.
Alright, I will summon the Pegasus.
And I'm going to use my gift to convert a failed charm roll into a success.
Let me double check that, because I think it might only be for you.
I wrote literally exactly what the manual said. It literally just said convert a failed charm roll into a success once per venture.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Fuck it, I'll allow it then. Yep. Cool. You place your hand on Philibert's back. You make use of your gift. And there's a soft white glow that sort of it manifests itself around his throat and his mouth, and he closes his eyes and calls out for it again. And from the clouds, this winged horse bursts forth with a flash of light, and then glides down to land in front of you all quite gracefully. Let me double check notes on Pegasi real quick to see what happens here. Okay. Okay, yeah, it nuzzles up to you, Philibert. It seems to be quite friendly for now.
Cute.
So you were telling the truth all along. What a beautiful beast. I'm gonna give
I
it
never
a
tell a lie.
What are you talking about? It's a product of magic.
Aye. A magical beast.
Boy.
What do you all do next?
Chris,
Yes.
in big Amborion clouds, there's cities, aren't there?
It certainly appears that there is glimmering architecture, and that's where a lot of the light comes from, as well as sort of the silvery mist that seems to permeate Amborion zones.
What if Philbert were to ride the Pegasus up to the clouds and see what's really up there?
It's certainly never been done.
If all else, we'll get some knowledge out of the whole thing.
You're not called Philbert the Strong for nothing, Philbert.
Maybe he is.
How do you
I'm
feel
gonna
about it,
squeeze his
boy?
muscle. Well, Colin?
I doubt it'll let me on its back. I smell.
I mean, could we all try to get on it?
Like all of
All
us?
three of us?
It could probably take 2 riders. The main thing is that if you do not have a martial background, you do not know how to... Well, anyone can ride a horse. It's just if you can fight on a horse, is if you got a martial background. This thing is much bigger than a standard horse. You guys could probably all get on it. It'd certainly be dangerous if you all got in a fight up there. But we can get to there.
What do you say?
End adventure. Aye, fine. I'll get on the horse if it'll let you feel better about it. What do you say, Lutz? What do your gods say?
I'll hop right on.
Alright.
Knowledge will be had.
Okay, you all hop onto the back of the Pegasus. It raises its head quite gracefully, and the massive wingspan unfolds. The wings raise up, and whoosh, you're up in the air. That one song from Aladdin probably starts playing somewhere in the distance. And you all take to the skies on the back of this avatar of Amborion. Philibert, you are in control of where this thing goes for now. It probably understands you. Where do you want to take it?
I will ask him politely if he could, or if it could take us to the cloud.
Okay. It gladly does, and quite rapidly. It takes you up into the sky and above the clouds. It is dizzyingly high up here. And at this height, you can actually see the struts, buttresses, and, you know, it's sort of still hazy and indistinct. But especially Wolf, like, your wizard senses, even though you have not activated them, they are assaulted at every angle. Your ears, there's like this piercing ring to it. It's not painful, but it's almost as if the highest, purest note that a human can possibly produce.
Tibetan chimes.
Kinda, yeah. Your eyes, it's just the glimmer that normally wouldn't be overwhelming to anyone else is just like, it's almost sending you into a daze, and sort of the chemical burn in your nose, it's a lot to take in. Yeah, and especially being this, you can tell up here, this is the source. Like, this is actually Amborion itself. Yeah. Like, it's one thing to be down on the ground where reality has been superimposed into these rolling meadows, but this is the closest that, like, being in a zone is one thing. You have found sort of the epicenter, the eye of the storm, as it were. Yeah.
An idea's just got in my head.
What's your idea, Wolf? I'm gonna hold on to Wolf really hard.
Yeah, Wolf seems like he's like sensory overload. Like his pupils are dilated. He's like kind of foaming at the mouth a little bit.
This is it. This is it, Lutz.
What's it, you crazy old kook?
This is where it all stems from.
Yes.
It's not like it is on the ground. We can stop it right here.
All right, you cockney bastard. Let's stop it right here.
The rest of you being this close, the Pegasus can't really hover, so it's just sort of flying in a circle, a large one at that, near the top of this cloud. The rest of you, even though you aren't wizards, you can feel, it's almost like being right next to a speaker at a concert. There's a vibration in the air up this high, combined with the chill of just being up this high. It's overwhelming in its own right, and then again, none of you have ever flown before, so this is all very new.
Yeah, I did mention that I'm holding onto Wolf real tight. I don't want to
for dear life, yes.
Get nice and snug.
Mm-hmm. So, what now? Pegasus
hey Chris,
seems
can I
content to
ask
circle.
This question?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can ask it though.
You can ask any question that you have on your mind.
So, Demon 3.
That's what I was saying.
I see Yagoth, but would that create a zone?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. The Yaggoths themselves have a zone inside of them, basically.
What about a dancer?
What about an angel?
Double check a dancer.
Like a dancer or an angel?
Let me take a look
I think
here.
an angel has wings, so I think an angel would be ideal here.
I just want to make sure it doesn't create a zone.
Let me take a look here. Angel. An angel, you could create it. Let's see. Angels are a tricky business. Because they start off only visible in dreams. I mean, you could force it into visibility if you, like, put the angel on yourself. That one... Angels do not create zones. A Yaggoth, however... let's see. Basically, everything inside of a Yaggoth is a zone. And I have it, basically, it's like a slug where it kind of leaves like a slime trail behind it that is
Yeah.
an Herbage zone, because I think that's kind of cooler. A dancer, it does not create a zone. It's just really fucking good at fighting. If you wanted to create something to like fight things with, this situation would probably be a nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
I was looking at Demon 2. What's a nightmare? Can you remind me?
A nightmare is an apparently iron horse with flaming hooves which can gallop across any medium except running water. It cannot literally fly, but it can run on air as long as it ends its action on a solid substrate. At the start of the ride, its rider loses 1 brawn to fatigue as if casting a spell. It must be ridden to accept commands.
Oh god, that means one of us has to get on it.
Yeah. It will rebel against commands that are neither attacking nor running at full speed, and in this state can be brought back under control with a Wits versus 12 roll.
That would be a death sentence.
Yeah, and even then, your Pegasus would probably not be too happy about it.
Really? But isn't it under Filbert's command?
Yeah, but it's also a creature of
it's
Embolion.
still its own entity. It'll be happy to fight a nightmare, should a nightmare appear, because the 2 magics are at war regardless of who the Pegasus likes. Yeah. And that would be a very dangerous proposition for all of you. Yeah. So, you guys are still flying around for a little bit, and eventually the Pegasus starts to dip back down to Earth. Yep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Boys, I've got an idea.
Okay.
What's your idea, you crazy old bastard?
Go ahead and get out of here, eh?
So do you want to drop
jump
us?
off the horse?
Well, okay. Directly beneath you is clouds and shining
I'm
architecture.
not done yet.
Okay, I'm just narrating to what's beneath you.
Okay.
But you jump off. What do you do?
And now I'm gonna cast Nightmare. once the Pegasus is farther away. Like I wanted you guys to book it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. Nightmare,
Crazier man
nightmare.
there's never been.
Nightmare.
All right, let me just see about that spell, because the thing is, to summon it, I'm not sure if it's a ritual. Let me double check. It's a Demon 2 that you're casting, right?
Yeah, it says ritual, no.
Okay, then yeah, you would just, it's boom, there.
Alright, I wanted to fucking go, so I fucking land on it.
Okay, I need a charm roll from you.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Here's the thing, though. So the thing is, if the spell Sacrifice was employed, it would obey you. However,
Yeah, I read that.
here's a clever workaround that Ron Edwards himself used in a separate series of adventures that I participated in. If you sacrifice a part of yourself, basically maiming yourself, it will obey you. So you would have to sacrifice like either like part of your hand, an eye, something
Alright,
along
so
those lines.
is it so can I roll the charm and then if it fails I can do that, or do you want me to choose one or the other?
You do one or the other. So either you make
Alright.
the sacrifice and it obeys you, or you make a charm roll.
Wolf is gonna take out his knife and fucking stick it in his eye and take his fucking eye out.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Let me.
cast sacrifice.
Okay. It's not a cast. It's just you sacrifice a part of yourself. You
I
don't have to
thought
worry about
his
casting.
Sacrifice is a spell.
It is a spell, but you have to kill someone, like an actual
Okay.
full-on person. This is just
Cool,
sort of an alternate to the rules that I thought was pretty fucking neat. Let me double check maiming. Okay, loss of function in a sense organ, combat relevant. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so basically you now no longer have depth perception, so that'll affect future wits rolls, and potentially even combat rolls. So you stab out your eye, and with a scream, and darkness envelops you, and beneath you all of a sudden is hot iron, and you are riding on a nightmare through the clouds of Emborion.
Yeah, can I just want to go straight full speed ram into the fucking crystal architecture of the clouds.
Okay. You go straight forward, and flame and smoke billows from the nostrils of this creature. For now, it runs on air, and you are rapidly coming upon this crystalline structure. And the two things collide, and reality itself doesn't quite know what to do for a moment. Essentially, you're not even quite sure if you see it happening or if you are imagining what's happening. The darkness that seems to, like, basically the dark smoke that is billowing from this creature seems to lash and press against this structure that you come into contact with, and it breaks almost like glass, and shards of it surround you, and you're sort of in this tumult of sensation, and it is painful to experience. Like, just, your eyes are overwhelmed, and it's just swirling darkness and light, and you don't know you're up from your down. You don't even know where your nightmare horse is anymore, and you sort of lose all sensation of where the fuck you are.
Chris, what do Philibert and I sense from this? What do we see?
You guys witness the summoning of the nightmare. Let me double check what the Pegasus does on that.
He tried to wait.
You are a ways away. Let me just see what Pegasi are supposed to do. Should Wolf survive what is potentially about to happen here? Pegasus. Okay. Nothing happens immediately with it. So you guys see Wolf summon this thing. He's sort of enwreathed. He stabs his own eye, and there's a spray of blood, and from that the nightmare erupts forth, catches him, and then you hear him go, yeah, like you can hear his battle cry, and you see him charge straight into the architecture, and I'm forgetting the name of the movie. It's like the one. It's basically where a zone is created, but it's sort of like weird body twisting, reality warping stuff. Like people become plants, which become people. It's
Annihilation.
That one. Very much like that, and the visuals that occur are very. It's almost incomprehensible.
Reality bending.
Yeah, when the horse makes contact with the structure, it ceases to be a nightmare horse. And the structure itself sort of ceases to become a structure rather than this tumultuous glass maelstrom intertwined with the darkness, and Wolf is at the epicenter of it. He disappears from view.
Can I cast Perfection?
Yes. You cast Perfection. And
Wolf!
you can't see him. He is completely enveloped in the swirling energy.
Just create a black hole.
We're about to find out. I need a wits roll from you.
Me?
Yes.
Epic.
1d6.
Oh, one. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
'cause I only have one
your
eye.
eyes are all fucked. Yeah, you're in a great deal of pain. To,
Oh, come on,
to say
baby.
it succinctly.
Come on. I wish inspiration was a thing. Fuck.
There is
No.
there's another thing that you can do, I believe.
I'm gonna say you are a literal
never
wizard,
mind.
so you have every spell available to you.
Oh,
Magic is your friend.
Do I have the ability to cast things, Chris?
Of course, yeah, you can cast things whenever you want.
Cool. Fuck. Oh, what's the spell I'm thinking of right now? Shit.
Which one?
It's something with wits. Like, it actually helps with, like, rolls and shit. Fuck.
Perfection, honestly, would save you in this scenario.
Yeah, I'd cast Perfection.
Yeah, Perfection. Okay. Give me a wits roll, 2d6. You are no longer at 1d6. However, you are certainly going in a direction.
Falling to my death. Yeah!
You gain a white point and lose a brawn, by the way.
Yep.
I got you covered.
I'm just doing the roll.
Yeah.
15.
Perfect. You are falling directly downward. The nightmares seem to have evaporated into the zone as you made contact, and you are currently yourself within the epicenter. You can't, especially after casting Perfection. I need a brawn roll.
Oh shit. Can I see Lutz and
No, everything is just white, pure white, glimmering, cosmic purity all around you.
So would it be my current brawn plus my
Yes.
roll?
Your current brawn is 4.
12.
Ooh. Okay, you don't evaporate. And all of a sudden you are beneath the clouds, and your whole body, it feels as though you have just emerged from an ice bath. You're shuddering, and you can see the ground rapidly rising up to meet you. The rest of you are above the clouds. However, Lutz, with Perfection, you can see through the barest break in the clouds, and you see the falling form of Wolf.
Philibert, that way!
All right. I will send the Pegasus that way.
We're gonna try to catch him.
Okay. Sure. Give me Philibert. Give me a quickness roll.
My life is in your hands.
Oh boy.
Or, actually,
Wait, wouldn't I be the
misspoke.
one grabbing? Yeah.
No, you are just you're the one that's going to be doing the grabbing. Philibert, you are in control of this Pegasi. It's following your commands. That's fine. With a great sweep of its wings, it dives down through the clouds, and for a moment you pass through the silvery architecture yourselves, and just your breath is completely taken away. Again, the ice bath sensation. And then you're on the other side, broken through it. The Pegasus is still beneath you, but you're ice cold, it feels like. The air quality ultra crisp, and you can see Wolf falling quite rapidly. Quickness from you, Lutz. Unless you want to do something else.
I can't. I just gotta go catch him. Yeah. I rolled.
There is a spell you can use.
I'm not a wizard.
Oh right,
though.
no, you're not a wizard. I forgot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. What was your
I
result?
rolled a 15 in all told.
A 15 all told. Oh yeah, shit, your quickness is 9. Holy shit. You guys speed underneath him, and Lutz, you reach out and grab him, barely keeping your balance on the horse. The sheer strength of your thighs is what keeps you on top of this creature. Wolf is missing an eye. It is not bleeding. He has cast perfection on himself as well.
Just
and
Mike
you can see that
with a glowing eye.
pretty much. His whole body sort of has the Emborion glow, though. It seems his mark is resonating with being so close to the source of things. The clouds above you are not so tranquil anymore.
You might want to get us out of here.
What the hell did you just do, old man?
I don't know, but I don't think it worked.
The zone seems to be responding. From it, a Valkyrie and Pegasi combo. It's very clear to see, because both of you have perfection, emerge from the clouds and start flying towards you with a clap of thunder and a lightning strike of pure white. Starts riding towards you all. Let's get some...
We can attempt to escape.
When it gets to be your turn, yes.
Well, don't we have advance warning because we have perfection?
It's all gonna be Filbert.
I mean, you see it coming. It's going to try and attack you. That much is for sure. So it's just a matter of quickness, basically.
Filbert. Filbert.
Okay, let me get some tokens here for you guys.
Filbert.
Yes.
Can I see the fort from here?
From here, at night, no.
Not even like lights?
It's obscured by Emborion. And even then, it's a walled-in town. The lights would be obscured by the wall.
You're really high up.
Not anymore. You went below the clouds. Fucking A, where's the thing? Alright, I need to get some combat music.
Filbert, you need to land us outside of the zone.
What's to say these things won't follow us?
They're going to follow us.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
suppose
that's
now our chance to destroy these bastards.
Perhaps.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Looks like Lenin with a bowl cut.
I don't know, I just put it there.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Good.
I like it.
I like it.
I do.
Alright.
Ooh, I like the music.
Good. Alright, it's got its own Pegasi.
Who's to say this Pegasus isn't gonna kick us off it right now?
I hope not.
Okay, let's see. The quickness they have is 6. Does anyone currently have a quickness higher than 6?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
The only one who doesn't is Philibert the Strong.
Filbert.
Okay.
I say Filbert should pump a brawn and get us the fuck out of here.
Yeah, honestly, not a bad idea. Hint, hint. wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay, once we get to your turn, absolutely.
We pumped the brawn. That's what he's saying.
Alright, Wolf, what are you doing on your turn?
Colin wants to pump a brawn.
Okay, so you're gonna try and... you were on a Pegasus. Withdrawing is gonna be difficult unless you want to drop off the horse.
No, we just want to try to get out of the zone and then land.
Okay,
That's the goal.
so you can pass your turn if you would like. I mean, you could always try and attack the Valkyrie that is rapidly gaining on you all. If you do
No,
nothing, it's probably going to pump Braun to go ahead.
No, what I'm telling you is Colin just said he wants to pump a Braun.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You pump a Braun. It finna pump a Braun.
Fuck, Colin.
It's a Braun pumping contest.
Oh god. Oh god.
I say we try to kill it.
Yeah,
I'm not experienced in fighting on horseback.
Well, you're a damn wizard, so hopefully you won't be doing too much actual fighting.
I also only have 4 brawn left.
True.
Those of you with perfection, you can see that the gaze of this female-like creature. You remember how it was sort of like target acquired with Ingfrieder? Wolf is now very clearly the target.
Oh boy.
It's going to ride in and try to attack him. It's got its spear raised. It's going to roll to attack.
Chris, question.
Yes.
Can I cast Reflect?
Let me see. What does Reflect do?
It's a spell, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to actually reflect a projectile. Let me see. Where the fuck is Reflect? Is that a black or a white spell?
It's a black.
Oh, okay. I was looking in the wrong section.
But it's a
if
spell.
it just, yeah, then that is not going to apply here. Okay. It has made its split and it's going to roll.
Fuck. Ah, god. It's my splitness. My
Yeah,
If you
splitness.
double your quickness,
Yeah.
then you roll.
Yeah. Okay. A second.
Bear in mind, you guys are not armored.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Probably should have armed up before we got this spell.
Maybe. Oh.
What is that?
There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna.
Alright. You can always try something. Maybe. There's ways to get rid of Valkyries. You'll just have to be. I mean, probably killing it would be a good option. We'll get there. It has 18 and 18. What is yours?
0-21. 21 defense, 0 attack.
Good. It's gonna move to the back. You successfully avoid it. You duck to the side as the spear barely misses your head. It looks like it's gonna round back about to try and come at you again. It is. I keep wanting to say Carlman because it's the Carlman icon. Philibert, your turn. Actually, it occurs to me. I think, yeah, your Pegasus would be in on this too, because it is its own creature. We'll just have it go directly after you.
Is it gonna attack?
So
me?
it is. It is still on his side, air quotes, because currently he has not met the criteria for it to like run away from it.
I guess I'll. No matter what I do, I should all out defend.
Hang on.
Nothing's attacking me though.
Okay, hang on. You guys actually have something neat. So Pegasi, its rider uses its armor score if he or she has less than 6 points of armor. So right now the Pegasi is giving you some armor. Okay.
Ooh.
You each have 6. Multiple riders. So I don't. That's a tricky wicket. How does this sound? So the armor bonus is normally to a single rider. How how would you guys feel if the armor was divided up between the three of you? Each of you would get 2 armor. Or would you rather all have the 6? I mean, no, I know you would all rather have the 6, but it's up to you, because the rules do not account for 3 riders on a big fuck-off horse.
How about we just roll a d20 for it?
Okay, roll a d20. Evens, you get 6. Odds, you get 2.
I rolled it. You got a 12.
Can you roll for me, Doug?
Okay, so evens, you all have 6. Cool, write it down.
Excuse me.
Lovely. All right. What do you do, Philibert? You can command your horse. You can try and have it do other stuff.
So this thing, Colin, you're not really being attacked. They're just trying to attack me and not you guys.
Okay, so I guess I'll try to keep us as far away as possible from the Valkyrie.
This is the thing, can we move in combat? That's not really a thing I've seen in Circle of Hands.
It's not like the explicit positions is not accounted for. Right now you guys are just both in the air, tussling, basically. If you guys try to fight with your Pegasi, since you are not, like, if you try to physically fight, like with weapons, you will basically have to make rolls to hold on and not be thrown off, basically, because you're not proficient in mounted combat. Philibert, I need a charm roll from you, because the Pegasi definitely wants to be in combat. It's even with other white stuff, you're its friend and it wants to fight with you.
Okay. John, can you roll for me?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Chris, I have a question.
Yes.
You
what
rolled
if
a
I
13.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. What if I used blank on myself?
Ooh. Let's see.
I don't emanate magical vibration and cannot be perceived as magical by a wizard's special senses.
Oh, whoa.
Basically, would that make me invisible? Is what I'm asking.
The target does not emanate magical vibrations and cannot be perceived as magical.
I'm guessing it's like, how are they sensing me, I guess?
I mean, they just see you, and you caused a significant disruption to the zone.
I did.
So that's part of why you're target. It's not because you have any weird stuff coming on. It certainly doesn't help that you have black points, I believe. Do you? Yeah, you've got some black points.
I have two, but I also have an Emborion mark.
Yeah, the black point expunging is their jam, as well. So blank would not help you in this case. Haze absolutely would, though. +3 to his or her defensive quickness total during combat.
That is a good
Or
one.
maybe even Trail Twister, you know?
That would be quite good. Let me double check on Trail Twister.
Second level.
Prolonged an area. People and beasts in the area will go anywhere. You are fighting Eidolons.
Yeah.
Or
I
slash
thought they were
avatars. Yeah, avatars, my bad. They would not be affected by Trail Twister. You could always use Blast. Just pump a big-ass blast their way, see if you can throw them off, because right now they have the advantage, and they may very well keep it, because that they are clearly proficient in mounted combat. So magic may very well be all of yours only options in this scenario, or escaping. Philibert, you successfully do your charm roll. The Pegasi is going to try and get you out, so it needs to succeed on its quickness roll. This thing is going to see that it's like clearly trying to escape with its target. It's going to try and pump another brawn to get ahead of it. You can choose to have your Pegasi pump brawn.
Yeah, I'll have it pump brawn.
Okay. Hang on, let me get you some extra counters here, because the Pegasi has its own pools, basically. A Pegasi is 6 across the board with 6 armor. So right now you're at 5, and its Pegasi is at 4. It's going to pump another one. You can see the horse frothing at the mouth. It's crystalline, beautiful froth, but it seems that the rider is pressing this creature quite hard.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'd say pump it again.
All right. Pump it again.
It's going to pump another.
Oh my god.
You can. The Pegasus is starting. The Pegasus that you are fighting against is looking pretty rough. The Valkyrie looks pretty fine.
So you said the Pegasus is looking rough?
Yeah,
from
the horse that it is riding is being pushed quite hard. They are acting as one, but the Pegasi is clearly the one that is trying to jockey for position.
What's
How-
Colin's Pegasus at? Like in
Yeah, I was
bronze?
just gonna ask.
His Pegasi is at 5 for Braun.
You could still keep going, Colin.
Yeah, I'll pump.
Okay. It's gonna pump one more.
God.
I'm guessing that Pegasus is looking really rough right now.
Very.
I will.
So you could also choose to pump your own brawn. So here's the thing. You aren't
Alright,
Gentry,
hey, I'm
but
gonna
you know
pump
what
my
happens
brawn.
when you take out a horse. What happens to the rider, right?
Oh,
Aha.
it was just the groovy part.
No, I don't.
Uh,
So what?
The rider is in a very sticky wicket, but Wolf has just pumped brawn. What do you do, Wolf? It is not going to pump to get ahead of you.
I am going to. I don't know which one's better. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Palsy on the Pegasus.
Okay, cool. Let me double check the zone thing real quick, because I think magic of the opposite kind it costs 1 more to cast. Let me just clarify real quick.
And in my attempt, I'm hoping the fucking Valkyrie falls off their horse.
Yeah.
Because the horse is gonna just fucking stop, you know?
Black spells cost an additional brawn while in an Emborion zone,
That's
so that will
okay.
cost 2. The points that you accrue for casting it remain the same, so you only gain 1 point. Cool. Palsy on the thing. It doesn't have brawn to overcome it. The Eidolon is going to be in a tricky wicket. Let's see. Palsy. Okay, cool. The Pegasi locks up and all of its joints like go into seizure, basically, and it starts falling from the sky. That's you. The Valkyrie is the only thing that's left, and it's going to try and throw its spear at you as it falls. It's going to have to make a wits roll to keep itself oriented, which it doesn't even have wits. I think it does. Come on, Valkyrie, where'd you go? Huh. I guess it just succeeds then. Neat. It no longer has the advantage because it is no longer in the advantageous position. Make a split. You have the advantage die in this scenario. Should you choose to counterattack.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Chewie, get us out of here.
Okay, my split's made. And the rules.
11 and 11 for the Valkyrie.
Fuck. I went way over my defense. I could have counterattacked. It's 4 and 21.
Okay, the spear whizzes by, and you duck out of the way. The spear completes the apex of its arc and starts to descend somewhere else in the zone. Alrighty. That's it. The Pegasus now can roll quickness. I'm going to roll it for you. Okay, yeah. You guys all successfully disengage from the Valkyrie. As it tumbles to the ground, you can see it land some ways below. It no longer moves. Especially, you all have the two of you with perfection very clearly see that it does not get back up.
Is it like T-posing, or is it just like it fell?
Oh, no, it's crumpled on the ground. Like it's just
like it took fall damage.
Yes, like it plunged from the sky. Like.
So it's dead.
Very much so. You can actually see it starting to evaporate back into the zone as it sort of dissipates in light.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?
I see why you always go on these adventures, Wolf. You're suicidal.
I just know when death's gonna come. Meanwhile, there's blood pouring out of my eye socket still.
Maybe you should
not
cast
bandaged
some
up.
spell on your eye.
Let's make sure we get out of this zone first. It takes far more effort.
Alright, it's not me who's in agony.
Alright, we're gonna fucking get the fuck out of here. Right,
Okay.
Filbert?
Yep.
Cool. You guys fly out of the zone, hanging on, fatigued from the spell casting. The Pegasus, upon landing, is prancing around, quite self-satisfied at a job well done within combat. Quite happy that its friend is still alive.
I will pat him and make sure he knows that he is appreciated.
He betrayed his own kind.
Good
That's kind of weird.
His kind is Philibert.
Yes.
What time of the night do you
And
think it
Philibert
is?
is a Pegasus, just like him.
Hang on, let me see here. Okay, we're fine. What do you guys do? You guys are outside the edge of the zone, and your spells that had been prolonged wear off, and you feel quite weary.
Has anything happened to the zone?
The break in the architecture is still visible. It's almost as if these glass shards are just sort of suspended in space, but you can see them slowly reform back into smooth cloud cover underneath and architecture.
God damn it! I almost died for this.
Well, it was a valiant effort, that's for sure. Fucking Trey. Well, I have no idea what to do now. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I don't either.
Feel free to take some time to brainstorm. Let's have a break. Take about 5-10 minutes. And if I'll relay the information that I gave you. So the knowledge that you got from Sigisberg, magic seemed to have been brought in by people. Right, definitely write that down. Potentially play around with that. The enchantments on objects, very clear they can be removed, and it is for the best. It just requires casting the spell without actually using brawn, and that'll generally dissipate the effect of the magic without creating a zone. However, it seems that to truly influence especially Wolf after that experience that you had with the nightmare, that sometimes to sort of brute force your way with these powers, it takes some sort of personal sacrifice of some sort, especially if you don't have the standard means to do so. In the meantime, I'm going to go AFK, get myself a drink, a little bit of a snack. I'll be back.
So what do you guys think? Right now, I think we're just gonna go back to that longhouse. Make sure the Pegasus is not there,
Okay.
just not to freak them out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need to rest a little. Well, actually, the scene's over with, so I get all my brawn back up.
Yes. Brawn spent from spellcasting has recovered.
Cool.
Cool.
Actually, let's see if there's any magic for my eye.
I mean, you can heal yourself with the spell, like the one that like recoups everything.
No. You are permanently maimed.
Oof.
That is one of the drawbacks of that method.
Yep. I'm gonna ask the support staff for a bandage or an eye patch.
Sure. Easy
Well,
enough.
first, I'm gonna make sure they disinfect it. Like, I want to call the support staff to make sure my eye slot, my eye hole, is not going to get infected, and then put a nice eye patch on it.
No one really has the tech for disinfecting things, but they get a bandage on there. At least as
Good
a
enough.
Circle Knight, you are immune to infection and death of that kind.
Not to
So
mention being on the
it'll
edge
be
of an Emborion zone, disease and stuff isn't present.
True, actually. Yeah.
you can
all
make
the-
use of that if you want. There is that if you wish,
Well, we just got out of it, so I'm assuming all the bacteria was killed.
pretty much.
Not that I'm that worried about fucking bacterial infection.
Yeah, the
Uh,
wound
you
itself
never
is still gross, but
Yeah.
it'll be fine eventually.
I'll be honest, Lutz, Philbert, I'm quite lost on what to do. I say we head in for the night at the Longhouse.
I.
I agree.
All right. You all head back and find yourself sort of at the edge of the clearing, still dead of night, and you dismount the Pegasus and head back into the longhouse. Sort of upon entering, Gustav just sort of blearily wakes up and says, "Oh, what are you all doing up?"
We were investigating the lights.
Well, it's fine. Just back to sleep. There's plenty of work to be done tomorrow.
Of course.
He gets himself back down to bed.
Cool. We're gonna go to sleep.
Cool. Y'all sleep. Let's see. The next morning, y'all wake up. Your eye still hurts, but the wound is no longer, as fresh as it was. It's been reasonably well tended to, packed and bandaged, and you've got a little eye patch over it. Soft light spills in through the entrance of the longhouse, and you see Gustav's wife is tending to a very small fire in what normally would be a much larger hearth. It provides a little bit of warmth on the crisp morning.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Wolf,
Lutz.
what does it mean to be a Circle Knight to you?
Traveling fun.
Aye. But what happens when the fun is
Making
over?
great stories.
Peace, I suppose.
Aye, peace.
Aye.
I hear dice being rolled. What's going on for you, Lutz?
We all know how magic enters this world.
Aye.
And I think I know how to get rid of that zone.
Well, spread it out then, son.
Wolf, you're a crazy motherfucker, you know that?
Mighty fine words to be coming out of a priest's mouth. But thank you.
I'm not an ordinary priest, so they tell me. Philibert, I hope you get stronger. And tell Tab I'm sorry. I'm gonna make a walk to the zone, Chris.
Okay.
By
Overnight.
yourself?
Yeah. I mean, you can come if you want. I'm just walking towards the zone.
Okay. Lutz exits the longhouse, and Gustav is like, "Where the hell is he going?"
I suppose he said he had business to attend to. I don't really know. He just said he was leaving for a walk.
I've said no such thing.
You're not still here.
I know. Sorry.
Gustav just gets up, and you can see he's starting to gather up some tools for the day, to get to repairing the rest of the holes in the roof. He's like, "Well, come on, we got to get to gathering some thatch to patch the rest of this place up."
Come on, Philbert. Well, actually, no, you don't work. Never mind.
That's true, Philibert, you really don't. Music. If anything, just what instrument would Philibert play? Conlon? Oh. He plays the Discord sound over and over again. Ba-doop.
Where'd he go?
I don't fucking know.
His connection at his mom's house is really bad. So.
Yeah, I figure.
So, I guess we'll just continue. He plays music. What instrument is undisclosed?
Okay. Is the Watch Together room still up? Okay, yeah, it's still
Yes.
up. Yeah, making sure. For some reason, like, your names had disappeared in it. I'm like, what in the same hill? Alright, let's wait for him to get back, because this is about to be juicy, I'm sure.
Yes. I'll send him a quick text. You good, bruh?
Yes.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
The ambience that I had made all that.
Yeah, he said his internet's fucking up.
Okay.
Doesn't he have unlimited data? I mean, is that what's fucking up?
I don't know.
Well, I suppose a very short break, ideally. Then we can get back into it.
He said he's trying to fix it.
Okay, very good. Good to know. I suppose then I'll discuss Wolf. What is it that you do, seeing Lutz leave?
Wolf had his own plan, and that involved these people, so he doesn't want to fuck with them too much or get them, like, raise eyebrows, so he's going to go ahead and help Gustav in whatever work he's doing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gathering thatch. It's peasant work, but it's work that you're accustomed to. For a couple of hours, you are vaguely aware of the Ambor. It's almost as if these people are just carrying on normal lives as it's just gradually crumbling around them ever so slowly. You can just every now and again you look up and you think it's a normal cloud, but no, it's an Amborian cloud. And it's kind of uneasy because you know that more than likely someday this will just be gone, right where you stand. And who knows how long these people are going to stay on this sinking ship, as it were. That's definitely an analogy that you can readily have come to your mind.
I just wish Conman were here.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Let's just have a 5-minute break for now, and then we'll see if he comes back in that time. Roughly about that. How do you guys like the session so far? Ooh.
What do you think of our action, Chris?
I think it's quite interesting. And honestly, I had anticipated that you guys would have been going back to the fort. So this is an interesting twist. Because I had a whole lot of other stuff sort of planned. But I'm like, let's see where they go. Because I didn't want to just force you guys to go back to the fort. So I just sort of brought you back to the same area.
I was thinking about going to the fort after this, but that'd just be a lot more time.
I don't think there's going to be enough time, especially with Conlon probably going to be having to get off soon. But I think we're about to have a fairly
satisfying. He doesn't have to get off tonight, actually. He's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, we could potentially run the fort then. Up to you. We'll see how this goes. We'll see we'll see what's going on.
Because basically, I could tell you my plan.
I am quite interested. I want to hear it. Yeah.
But at the same time, that'd ruin the surprise.
Yeah, that's true. Keep it a secret.
I don't even know what Caleb's plan is.
I told you my plan.
You didn't really tell me, though.
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
Message me the plan. I don't remember you saying. I know you told me things that you're going to do, but you didn't really say how that was going to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know if that plan would work, John.
Yeah.
It's a little out there. And also with the combat system, I don't know how Chris would do it.
We'll find out.
Probably wouldn't even work. Basically, Wolf's idea is to somehow convince the people of his land to rally against this thing and convince them that it's, you know, our home is going to be destroyed if we don't band together, like folks do, and attack the source.
Hmm.
So that's why I wanted to go to the fort to potentially convince the gentry. But one, Wolf's charm is really low.
Yes. And you already used your
I did.
fulfill charm
I
thing.
wasted that, dude. Fuck.
I mean, you had an interesting little escapade through the clouds,
Yeah.
which was a treat.
Yeah, I want to hear what the author of your story thinks of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking, yeah, by the way, one of the players tried to ram a steel horse into an Emborion fucking mansion. Because what I'm interpreting is like, you're like, you know, people brought magic into this world and people can bring it out. So that's why I'm like, you guys hate magic and come with me. Let's get rid of it. You know?
You're getting closer. However, you're not quite at the answer.
But John is more of a sacrifice.
Hmm?
Nothing. Me. Myself.
Hey, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Does perfection just work with eyesight?
All of your senses.
Interesting.
Very.
Alrighty. What's the word on Conlon, John? Do we have any ideas? He's coming back.
I just asked him if there's any luck. Can he?
What did he say?
Do it yet? Hey, hey,
Welcome.
there's the high roll.
There's the high roller. Oh, he beat me to it.
So, it seems Wolf is going to go off and help these local folks tend to their day-to-day duties. Philibert, are you going to follow Lutz, or are you going to stick around with Wolf?
What is Lutz doing?
Lutz seems to be going out somewhere. He has not offered an explanation.
I think I will stick with Wolf.
Okay, fair enough. So, you passed the time. We asked before you disappeared, what instrument does Philibert play?
What are my options?
You can play an exotic string instrument, perhaps even something like a didgeridoo, like a woodwind
Didgeridoo.
or a horn. Okay, a didgeridoo. Play that for people throughout the day for their work. Meanwhile, Lutz, you exit the settlement, and where do you go?
I am going to head towards the edge of the zone.
Mm-hmm. All right. You find your way there, and you see that it seems that after last night's escapade, it almost seems as if the zone has expanded and pushed much more rapidly forward toward the settlement, especially now that you see it. There's much more of a heavy silvery sheen to the air, and it's almost as if like you're standing in front of like a bubble or a wall that you could walk right through.
I'm gonna look up at the heavens, Chris,
They glimmer and sparkle.
and I'm going to say, I will do anything and make any sacrifice to eliminate this zone from this world.
Okay. Let me see if that's a valid oath. Oath. So it is not a standard oath, so nothing happens immediately, but you swear an oath to yourself at the very least. We could argue that it's a Nirbaja oath, the destruction of an object or a physical location. However, a physical location is not necessarily his own, so we'll see what happens. What do you do next in either case? You swear your oath.
I'm going to yell to the gods, Chris, for their aid. It's the first time I've ever asked them for anything. Gods, help!
Actually, the second time.
When he played Lutz, he inquired the gods for a specific guidance.
Oh,
I
that's
smoked
right.
weed for it too. It's basically, I've hallucinated.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Okay. You beseech your gods. Okay. All right. -3 brawn for you. And I'll tell you what happens next. It's as if you cast a spell, but no points gained. You feel a hand touch your shoulder.
I'm gonna say, I always knew you were there. Do it.
Do what?
What must be done.
A bald individual sort of tilts down and sort of like gently turns your head towards it. Are you all right? You seem quite distressed. It's just some dude in a robe. He's barefoot.
You got trolled.
Who are you?
He's kind of...
I'm gonna look at him incredulously.
I am merely another such as yourself. However, it is distressing to me that you seem quite so distraught, but what are you doing all the way out here?
I could ask the same of you. You know what that is up there, don't you?
He looks up. Yes. It is quite pure in its own way. It's quite beautiful. It is quite something to admire and to strive for.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and say, well, I've had quite a bit of failures the past few days.
Oh, come now. Surely it's not all bad. Listen, I know you have... You strike me, rather, as a person that has seen quite a great deal of hardship, pain, suffering, and quite a great deal of destruction.
That I have.
I'm sure it would be nice to have some peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet, huh?
Yes.
Where are you from, man? Oh, wait, is he old? Or is he just a bald?
It's hard to tell, honestly. Like, getting a look at the person, They seem neither old nor young, neither fat. Like they're sort of decidedly average. And they sort of have this soft smile on their face, and they're just wearing a white robe. And that's
I
really it.
suppose that would be nice, but I have resigned myself to this fate.
Well, what fate do you resign yourself to?
That is the question, and I do not know the answer.
Well, perhaps I can help you find it. Come, have a seat. He just sits down on the ground and sort of just pats the grass in front of him.
I guess I'll plop down next to him.
Sure.
Pop a squat.
So tell me, what brings you here to this place? I sense that you have been pondering a great many questions, and it has led you to a great deal of painful confusion.
That it has. I've come here to destroy what is before us. With two of my
Oh.
friends.
Oh, that is quite the lofty goal. I know not of any way to destroy it. Personally, I would not see it destroyed. I mean, gaze upon it. It is beautiful.
Yes. How long have you lived around here?
Oh, not too terribly long.
You like that thing up there, don't you?
He nods his head. It's very serene.
Interesting. Would you like to come see my friends that I've come here with?
Ah, of course, I would love to meet them.
Alright, follow me.
Certainly. You both get up and make your way back to the longhouse. You find Wolf and Philibert. Upon reaching the settlement, you hear the sound of a didgeridoo being played, and the and thatch and the rustling of thatch being put in place, and things being hammered back into place. Wolf and Philibert, you see Lutz arrive, and he seems to have a friend with him of some sort. Or he seems to have found a person out there.
Who's this?
I asked for my gods, and all I got was him.
This is what we're stuck with.
Hello.
Are you going to introduce us?
I actually don't know his name. What is your name, stranger?
I have long since forsaken my name.
I'll call him French.
I suppose a fitting name. Surely it was someone important to you. He comes forth and he sort of shakes everyone's hand. He comes to you, Philibert, and he says, "Hello, I hear such wonderful music coming from you, and such a free heart you have. However, I'm sure you are quite well traveled, certainly."
I'm gonna go over to Wolf and nudge him with my elbow.
Wolf's gonna sniff.
Ooh, you get a whiff. You get a big whiff. Oh yeah, you're just you sort of squint your remaining eye at this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
person.
we're gonna give it crazy eyes.
Ooh, he's got Amborion coming off of him big time.
Why'd you pick this one up, Lutz? I'm
Why'd
gonna
you spill
mutter
your
under
beans?
my.
Why'd you spill your beans?
Well, at first I thought he was just weird, but then he was extra weird. So I figured I'd bring you by him to sniff him out with your smeller you got there.
Look, it's literally this guy on the table.
Yeah, actually, yes, quite literally. He's just making pleasant conversation with Philibert. Very kind individual. He's sort of sitting down across and listening to the didgeridoo with sort of this serene expression on his face.
Oi, how are you? I'm Wolf.
Ah, hello. Oh, my friend. I see you have seen quite a lot It is such a shame that you had lost one of the eyes that would see this world.
I lost it not too long ago.
I can see that.
Wait, Chris. Is the Pegasus doesn't leave until the end of the adventure, right? So is
Yeah,
the
it's just
Pegasus
hanging
still
about.
just chilling? I wonder what his
Yeah,
reaction to that is.
It's not. You guys had asked it to stay out of the settlement, to
Oh,
not
that's
freak
right.
out the residents. So it's not currently around. He sort of reaches out and puts a hand on Wolf's shoulder gently. He says, "My goodness, you've lost someone recently, haven't you? And the poor thing. It seems like it was quite tragic. I can see the weight of it on your shoulders, Wolf."
Hmm? What do you mean?
I can see it. You've clearly lost a great deal in your life. Surely that burden must weigh quite heavily on you.
Oh, I have, but it was long ago.
Loss has its way of staying around.
We smoked any of that priest cannabinoid?
No, I have no need to.
It seems like you can see right through.
I have been told I have that sort of a way with people. I've met many in my time.
What do you sense happened just the night before today?
I'm sorry, could you repeat what you asked?
What
Got
do you sense happened in the night time before this morn?
He sort of tilts his head curiously at you. Well, considering the state of that eye, it seems that you got up to quite some business, my friend.
Oh, yes, I did.
However, I get the sense that it was not as successful as you would have hoped.
No. Great deal of disappointment in my heart.
It seems you've carried that for quite some time in your life.
But not as much as last.
Yeah, what was the last words? The Oslas?
as
As
last
last.
night.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
Okay. He sort of gives your shoulder a pat, and he just sort of looks around at the sky and takes sort of like someone who like just goes outside to get a breath of fresh air. They do the. That's about it. Are there others? I guess he sort of sees the other people, and he goes around to Gustav and his family, and he sort of seems to do the same sort of. It's almost priestly, but without the hat, without the cannabis. He's sort of doing the whole counseling bit, and just sort of And
I'm gonna whisper. What?
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
So I was gonna whisper to Lutz and Filbert. Do we take him out back and kill him?
Let me think. I don't know. I'm not so sure that. What do you think, Philibert?
I don't think we should.
He's got embryo no.
I will say this. The last man who is as weird as this in this such a way tried to lead me off a cliff, he did. And he almost succeeded. Maybe he'd be happier if we released him, so to speak.
So French.
Right, that's what you call me. How can I help you, Wolf?
What's the last thing you remember?
A pleasant walk along the rocks.
The shoreline. Great Spur shoreline. You from Spur?
No.
Where you from?
Tamarion.
To Mario.
Yes.
Right deal away from here.
I have traveled the land over the years, met many a people.
Just
Though I
like
am,
I.
though born in Tamaria. Oh, yes, I take you for a traveler by the the dirt you have upon your person and the calluses upon your feet. Um, it is good to be in such company. Truly freeing, is it not? Go as you please.
Well, you see, Fred, I must confess something to you.
Is that so?
We are but of the circle. You know the circle.
Of course. I see the emblems you wear on your chest.
You hear that we
You cut out.
You see that we destroy magic.
I think you certainly try to, but it is quite the difficult thing to get rid of, it seems.
It is. And right now, we're on a mission to destroy that cloud in the plains.
Oh. I can see that being very difficult.
Aye.
Have you ever tried to grab smoke with your bare hands?
Now,
Nearly impossible.
I have tried to ram a horse in crystal, though.
I'm not quite
Didn't work
certain.
too well.
He sort of seems. He just sort of chuckles, lightly flabbergasted. A strange thing that someone would do. But I'm sure you had your reasons for it.
Listen here,
I'm all ears.
stranger.
Oh, Stranger perhaps is a good name for me as well, although I do like your friends calling me Fredge. That was quite... It's been a while since anyone has called me anything but stranger, traveler, etc. But
How long
shrug
have
his
you
shoulders.
been like me?
Like what?
You are certainly stinking.
He erases his arm and sort of sniffs at his armpit. I don't know. I'm certainly due for a bath, I'm sure.
Of the white magic.
He sort of frowns. I don't smell anything.
Oh, I do.
Well, we are surrounded by it. I'm not surprised that you smell it.
I'm gonna get real close to him
Mhm.
and then like sniff him like straight up.
Okay. It's like opening a bottle of rubbing alcohol and just taking a huff from it. Oh yeah.
Nah. It's you, friend.
Well, perhaps your nose is not to be trusted.
Hey Caleb.
Hmm?
The spell RIP, the effect is the caster may ask one question of the target which the subject must answer truthfully, but limited to a single word. The target also suffers 3 damage.
You're right. I'm sorry. I get a little aggressive sometimes. I've lived a life of misery.
Hmm. It is quite all right. Strong emotions do tend to rise in those who have experienced great hardship. I would advise mindfulness. Merely observe your feelings and touch them lightly.
I've had a hard deal with my own emotions, I'll be honest with you. Carmen, have you fed the horse recently?
It's Philibert.
Philbert. Sorry, I was
Philibert.
reading his card.
Yeah, I know. It's alright.
Philbert.
No, I have not.
Oh. Fred, you'd love to see this beaut. You like horses, Fred.
Yes. They're elegant beasts.
Let's go feed the horse.
Sure. He just follows you guys along as you head toward Pegasus. A little ways away, it's just sort of hanging out.
Are we not in view of the town?
No.
I'm gonna cast a rip on him.
Okay. Spend
Well,
the
first,
brawn.
actually, I want to hear his reaction to seeing the Pegasus.
Ah. Truly a beautiful animal.
Okay,
He's got his back to you guys.
I'm gonna cast a rip on him.
Okay. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Oh, actually, what is it? So look at my page. I'm pretty full on spell shits. Do I have a max spell count?
What do you mean?
Because you know how you have all
It
these
takes
underlying
over
things?
the white ones
Yeah.
that you currently have.
Yeah, it goes over white.
Until you
Okay,
have
fine.
9
Recent spell.
black, like in a row, like you don't.
Yes.
You,
Okay, I get you. All right. Hold on, I gotta go check and see how much a rip is.
It's 3.
3? Oh god, that's a strong spell.
It's a big
Alright.
spell. It's a big
Alright.
boy.
It has been cast, my friends.
Let me just get this man's stats for you. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll to rip just so I understand what happens. All right. Ask your question.
remember, he can only answer with one word.
Oh, I didn't even think of what I wanted to ask him.
Well,
You just wanted to hurt him.
Oh, what do you think I should ask? Do I have time to ask Lutz?
Are you responsible for what's up there?
Or
Are
maybe I
you
can ask
connected
him
to what's up there? I don't know, something.
the tool I need to destroy the zone.
Ooh. Yourself.
That's what he
Oh,
says.
are you just answering me?
That is his response.
Okay.
I already tried that.
Can I cast it on him again?
You can. What is his reaction to this?
He physically recoils slightly, and sort of clutches at his chest. And he sort of rises and turns back to you. He sort of has a bit of a sad expression on his face. You seem desperate.
I am. This is my homeland. This is where, well, I didn't specifically grow up here. But this is my land. I want to save it.
I can see that. And I can see that you have been fighting a very long time. How much longer do you really want to keep on fighting a war that may very well never end?
Not much longer. Reaching the end of my year.
So what happens now?
Is he aware of the answer he gave me?
Yeah.
What did you mean by that yourself?
He raises his hands to both shoulder heights. Not
What?
entirely sure. Although it seems to be the answer. Whatever it's...
Sorry. You mean just me?
He, once again, raises his hands and shrugs his shoulders. It is a shame that you seek such destruction of something that is so beautiful. It is as if you would want to destroy the very beast before you. It has done nothing to you.
It's killed some of these innocent villagers. And it's growing
Killed
in
them?
strength.
If anything, it set them free. Their lives, look at them. They're miserable. Constantly in pain. I saw it in their eyes. Yet they cling so desperately to what is merely a speck of dust in the grand scheme of things.
I see. I see your kind. I've dealt with you before. Tried to free me off the side of a cliff.
You did not see one of my kind. I'm afraid not.
I have. You're no different, you are.
Hmm. I'm afraid I disagree, but it seems that you are not willing to see it that way. It saddens me in that regard. I had hoped that we could talk more and do what it is that must be done. And he sort of just folds his hands at around his stomach and just sort of stands there looking at the three of you.
Well, when we free this thing, maybe he'll be back in his right head.
Look, stop. Don't do what you're gonna do.
I just said that I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, you know, when we kill him.
No,
be
like
free.
the zone, hopefully.
Oh. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just like out of character. I just don't know what to do. I don't know. Fuck it. We tried fighting it. I've tried to sacrifice myself. I don't know.
Fred.
Well, the thing is, you didn't. You just sat there.
Fred.
And he did.
Fred.
Look at, oh,
Yeah.
yes. What is it, Wolf?
Take me to the zone.
All right. He sort of just points, and you can just see the clouds, not that far away. So, sure, come along. He just starts walking toward the edge of it. And eventually, shortly after, you all arrive at the edge of the zone, and the strange man just sort of stands there in front of it with his hands folded in front of him. He seems to not even care that you cast such a spell against him.
What would you do if I spawned a demon right in the zone in there?
Well, it is your choice to make. I don't quite know what will happen, but more than likely, something will come out to meet it. They will fight. One of the two things will be destroyed, and eventually the demon likely will be. More than likely. I mean, there's a great deal of Emborion up there, and I'm sure it has plenty to spare.
God damn it. But you would, eh? No?
Repeat the question?
But you wouldn't attack me?
You are making your own choices. I have no reason to attack you. Although you seem still confused, and I still get the sense that you're desperate. It seems that you truly wish to fix a mistake, or at least what you perceive to be a mistake.
I do.
I'll at least give you that. You're a man of your word.
I'm gonna... Wolf is gonna sigh. And he's gonna tell his kind stranger... take me to where you call home.
I don't have a home. I wander these lands.
Fuck.
Take me up there.
Beam me up.
Well, if you wish to give yourself to all of that, just do so.
Look at Lutz. Don't know if we should just kill him. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should kill myself. Yourself? That's what it means? I don't know. I don't know, Lutz.
Not sure either.
Wolf, as we talk more, I get the sense that you are a person that is constantly fighting against what you perceive to be your fate. Possibly constantly trying to right the wrongs of the past. It is a fruitless endeavor. The past is the past. But what we have is right here and right now. So, are you going to continue to fight against what has already been preordained? Or are you simply going to just let things be?
It's not preordained, though. This was made by a man I know.
Perhaps it was preordained. All of you come from the Citadel in Rolk. You all go about stirring things up. For what reason? To end a war between magics? It'll end itself eventually. You only risk your own lives for something that is far beyond you.
Wolf is gonna look down.
And even then, he gestures to the longhouse in the distance. It is the place of this. It is rather the fate of that place. It shall meet its end. Everything shall meet its end. We all shall. It is merely a matter of when. And to fight against that inevitable when is fruitless.
Boats.
Aye.
Filbert.
Yes.
He's making sense.
Is he?
Aye.
Maybe I don't have the smarts for it.
Aye. Aye. He's kind of just... What?
He reached the guide just gently, but with a certain confidence, reaches out and touches your shoulder again. It does not have to be painful.
Wolf is gonna step into the zone.
Okay. You step inside. The chemical smell is just once again just sort of the full body vibrations.
He's gonna lay down.
Okay. You lay down in the meadow, staring up at the perfectly white clouds up ahead.
And he's gonna remain there.
The individual sort of steps in beside you. You seem to be deep in thought.
Aye.
The guy sort of just looks around. If you are waiting for a Valkyrie to bring down a spear, it is not going to come that quickly. Valkyries only come when there is a battle. If you truly wish to die today, I can show you where some nightshade is, good sir.
Nightshade?
Yes.
Poison.
The hell is that?
Poison.
What he said.
You drink it, you die.
I don't want to kill myself.
Well, then what were you doing laying down in the middle of a zone?
I don't know. I thought that... I don't know. What is your issue? Don't you want me to die?
He sort of just told us, it seems that you want that for yourself. You seem to be constantly in a struggle of whether or not to give up or to keep on fighting.
I swear to fucking God.
You have
I'm
been saying
turning
about
British.
sacrificing yourself, giving yourself for the zone, beaming yourself up. What other metaphors are there for
Do
all
it,
that,
Wolf.
sir?
Summon a damn demon and get this over with.
You are quite strange people.
I
do
don't
enjoy your
understand. You
company.
are clearly of Emboyon, yet you do not want me to succumb to Emboyon. So what is it? I'm willing and waiting for Emboyon to fucking take me. I don't know why I'm turning British.
Well, why not summon Emborion to you then? You are clearly quite capable.
But you are talking me out of it.
Talking you
It
out of
doesn't
what?
make any sense. You're trying to talk me into anything.
Chris, I'm going to cast Perfection.
Okay. You cast Perfection. You perceive everything quite clearly. What are you trying to perceive?
Trying to perceive a damn Valkyrie coming down from the sky.
Not a Valkyrie in sight.
Fuck.
What is it that you wish for, Wolf? Truly, in the very depths of your being.
I wish for peace.
For yourself or for the world?
The world.
Oh, come now. We know you wish it for yourself. You are a haunted man.
Aye, peace will come to me when I'm dead.
So? I suppose then the only thing you have to consider is how you wish to go.
Damn it.
Many decisions for you to make. And as
Many
a
thoughts
person,
indeed.
much to think about, an acquaintance of mine once said. But if you wish to lay in the meadow for some time, I'm more than likely eventually you shall erode away. I would not spend too much time there if you want your death to be painless. I mean, if you stay in there, it will just slowly eat away at you, and you will likely feel a great deal of it. And up to you. He sort of shrugs his shoulders and steps out of the zone. And he's just got this smile on his face. It's one step away from being a shit-eating grin. Just, Lutz, you too are capable of magic. Look at you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
If only I could see through your bullshit.
What do you mean? I've been completely honest with you this whole time.
The honesty of a madman as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I am no madman. Although it seems that you have had your fair share of them, and the voices in your head, I'm sure there are some days where you think yourself mad.
Not with faith. Not with faith.
Faith is such a troubling thing sometimes.
Can I,
All sorts of inner turmoils, morality, and all that.
That upon which we can agree.
Yes, Wolf, what is it?
I'm gonna step out of the zone and cast Demon 1, and I'm gonna cast an Imp. But
Okay.
outside of the zone.
Sure. It manifests. Let me double check on imps.
I'm pretty sure imps can talk, can't they?
They can?
A small winged grotesque humanoid. It's it does not speak. It's just it sort of lands on your shoulder, and it's disgusting.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking cave its head in.
Okay.
Actually,
alright.
wait, no, I'm gonna pick it up. Wait, can I pick it up and just chuck it into the zone?
Sure. Give me a quickness roll.
Whoa.
I did not do that.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna roll again. John fucked it up.
I didn't do it!
You know what? Make a split. You have advantage.
I rolled a 13 for my quickness roll.
Yeah. You can
still
add
okay.
the third d6 onto that, by the way, and then just do your split.
Okay.
What is your result?
Fuck, hold on. 22-8.
Okay. You yeet this thing into the Emborion zone, and it slams into the ground and is dead instantly. You see it slowly fade away into a fine white powder.
I was trying to cast something that spoke.
You were trying to do what?
I was trying to cast something that spoke because I know you can make deals with demons, can't you?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah, I didn't read which one. I thought it was an imp, but I was wrong. So I just fucking chucked it in frustration.
I mean, it does speak, but it only teaches more wizardly shit. It does not speak except to teach and whisper, but it is a supernaturally effective spy.
Oh well.
Just, fuck. If you want to just redact, just don't worry. Just the guy just sort of looks. He's like, poor man, and that poor
Caleb,
creature too.
It's
My
like,
goodness.
It's like the dude in the baby stroll in Watertown. Fuck!
I love the thought of Filbert playing his didgeridoo while this is all going on.
How you doing, Colin?
I'm good.
Filbert, what are you thinking?
I don't think I only do.
Didgeridoo.
Therefore, I am not.
All right.
Damn.
I don't know how to.
I'm gonna cast a rip on him again.
Okay.
I'm going to ask him, is killing myself the answer?
You might have to be more specific. At least in your, just feel free to phrase your question as you like, because that with a question like that.
Is the sacrifice of myself the answer in bringing peace?
Well, of course he's gonna say yes to that.
Yeah, he'll say yes.
Okay, fuck.
You weren't
Peace
specific.
to spur. Peace. Fuck. Okay, I fucked it up.
Go ahead, give it one more try. You
All
can
right.
do it.
Will my sacrifice bring about the end of the Emborion zone and spur?
Best of his or her knowledge. Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna fucking. Oh well, actually, first, I have a giant mark. I'm pretty sure at this point.
Yeah. Did you just fill up?
Yeah, which actually might help because you have a fucking Rabaja mark.
Yeah. If you got up to 9, then okay.
Well, I should remove one for the imp actually, because you said that canceled.
Or keep it on if you,
Okay.
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
fuck it.
You have
Either
10
way, it'll
anyway.
reset to 0. Alright, marks.
I have an Emborion mark and a Baja mark.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Make a brawn roll using 1d6.
Cool.
Also, bear in mind you cast like. Wait, hold up. Your brawn is at like 1 right now.
Huh?
Or
What do you mean?
actually, if anything, 0, because
What do you mean?
cast 1 to summon the imp.
Yeah, you
you
said to
did.
cancel the imp out, so I
Okay. Either way, you're down to
I
1
stopped
brawn
it.
right now. By the way,
Okay.
because you.
Yeah.
upset it.
Where he's going,
Well,
he won't need it.
Wait. I'm originally at 7.
Yeah. So you cast 3 for the first rip, and then another 3 for the
Yeah, but
second
the
rip.
scene switched.
No, it was literally
No.
the same scene. The scene
No,
has not.
we went from the forest to the zone.
That's not the switch of a scene.
Okay.
We have not like it had.
I
It
get
is
you.
the same scene. The things have just been continuing. You just moved from place to place.
Okay, cool. All right, I rolled a 4.
Okay. You have been marked by Urbaja. Cool. Both at the same time. Neato. Roll 2d6.
Cool. 8.
8. One limb or facial feature becomes grotesque and gains 1d6 when using it. If you want,
His
you can.
eye.
Yeah, I was about to say, crazy fucking demon eye.
Yeah, well, let's make it happen.
It'll basically. I'm trying to think if that. Yeah, fuck it. That'll give you 3d6 for wits rolls regarding sight. Fuck it. 'Cause you got your eye back, and now it's doing a whole lot more for you. All right, that wipes out your color points. The guide says, "Look at how you destroy yourself."
I.
Hmm.
Literally, I.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Wolf, think
I'm
about
going
what
to
you're
now.
doing.
What?
Wolf, think about what you're doing.
I. Fuck. I don't have brawn to do what I want to do. Shit. I know what I want to do, but I just need to look up what
Well, you can still
spell.
cast spells and just be knocked out, right, Chris?
He only has one brawn to. That is it. Because otherwise, he just does not have enough physical strength to manifest anything more.
Wait, so okay, I see what you're saying.
The stranger seems slightly. And again, he just simply looks upon you with like sad empathy.
So what I want to do is I want to cast Spirit and just tell them to take me to the light. But
Spirit.
that's 3. That's 3, and I only have 1 brawn. So
Yeah.
It just so happens that Common has Spirit on right now. Actually, no, he literally couldn't because he only has 3 wits.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna step into the zone again now that I'm marked by Rabaja.
Okay. Let me see if anything in particular happens. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get everything right here because this is getting to be a sticky wicket. Oh, by the way, a single Emborion mark, you are sterile and you have no sex drive.
Well, I mean,
As for the mark of
Not that
Urbaja,
anyone was interested.
yeah, I
not
mean,
that Wolf. Would be
Wolf was
interested.
probably interested in someone at some point. What do you want Wolf's addiction to be, if it matters?
Is that what
Lobster.
Rabaja does? Addiction?
Yeah, once you get marked by Urbaja, you get
Sex.
okay. It's
What's
sort
your
of
addiction?
No, that was a joke. 'Cause, like, I don't have a sex drive.
yeah,
so
the
I'm
person's
Alcohol?
physical appetites become excessive. Choose one of food, narcotics, or sex.
Alcohol?
Oh, really?
The drank?
Yeah, alcohol. Yeah, that'd be
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean nothing happens immediately.
immediately.
Yeah, it's quite. Let's see if anything. Okay. I think this would make sense given what happened at the tower. Um, Wolf steps into the haze, and on the horizon, you can see a white shape form, pretty much opposite of you all. And it starts to gradually become larger, and it's walking along the ground. And you can see that it's a horse, and it's got a extremely long horn atop its head.
It's a unicorn.
Yeah. It is moving towards you, sort of at a canter, which is sort of like almost like a speed walking for it. It's still very graceful. It's just sort of moving with grace and purpose your way.
I'm gonna turn to you confuse me, but I believe, even though you know not what you said, understand.
Okay.
Okay, kill him. No, lots, Filbert. It's
Yes,
been
Wolf.
fun.
To think the man's so devoted. Give his life to the circle. I suppose it's only fitting. You will be remembered, Lutz.
It's the only fate for all of us.
Good old Tab will sing ballads of you. And Filbert will write
Hey,
something
what
for
about
his
me?
ditches do.
Filbert finally has a first experience song, don't
I will tell of your tale for ages to come.
With that, Wolf is going to start walking towards you.
Okay. It's going to pick up its pace, and it lowers its head towards you. It begins to charge. It is rapidly gaining on you.
Wolf is gonna undress completely.
Okay. Completely nude, you stand before this creature, and
And I'm gonna lay my arms out.
okay. As it approaches you, you can see for a moment in its eyes complete understanding, and then you are impaled.
What did you say?
As it is directly before you, there's a split second where you make eye contact with the unicorn, and you can see, without even communicating with words in that moment, that it completely understands your pain. And then you are impaled, and you feel nothing. The rest of you see Wolf get impaled. And it's as if the unicorn comes to a complete standstill. It's not like it lifts him up like a trophy or anything. It's almost delicate and precise. Wolf's blood is a mix of white and black, and it mixes together in a sort of gray, and it starts to drip onto the ground. And the air starts to get a little weird. Black tendrils start to sort of manifest and twist amongst the mist, and cracks of lightning start to break the sky, and these shimmering splinters and fractures in basically the reality within the zone start to appear.
Hi,
The architecture,
Wolf's given us one final show.
the shimmering architecture above you starts to fractal and flicker, and start to be in places that it wasn't before, shifting positions rapidly. Wolf's entire body turns completely gray on the outside but translucent. And on the inside, you can see sort of a yin and yang dance of the forces that take hold within him. and there's a flash of not necessarily light and not necessarily darkness either. It's almost as if there's just a complete absence of visual data directly in front of everything. Like all around you, the only thing that is untouched is all of the actual land that you currently stand upon. For a moment, it's as if you are completely out of space and time, as reality seems to just completely not know what to do, glitch in the matrix. And then there's just red rockland all around you. The clouds are gone. The bald person that had been talking with you all, gone. The unicorn, gone. The wolf is absolutely gone. And it's just a quiet day in Spur.
Oh, I wasn't talking. Shit. I'm gonna...
Sometimes silence is okay.
Yeah.
Just absorb the moment.
I'm gonna hang my head in solace and say, Wolf, your sacrifice will not be in vain. May Spur be in peace.
A fitting way to end the session. Thank you all very much for participating in this series of Adventures of Circle of Hands.
Thank you. Thank
Yahoo!
you for hosting it out of the time. It's a good first experience with like tabletop like this.
I'm glad you liked it. It's definitely a far cry of what D&D often is. And part of me really wants to play something like D&D with a Circle of Hands system, just to make it more simple to play through. Just because all of the ins and outs of D&D is just like, ooh, stats, leveling up, blah, 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 blah. I prefer to have it boiled down to just, who are you? And who is your character? And that moment at the at the lighthouse. That's funny. Yeah. I'm glad you guys finally picked up on the hints that I was dropping. Like, hey, it might be that it requires a sacrifice, not with magic or anything like that, but just simply doing that.
It took us a while.
A little. The thing is, I didn't want to just hand it to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew it might have been the answer. I just I didn't know if there was going to be a trick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
that was actually
the
pretty
trick.
symbolic of Wolf to be able to finally just trust something.
Mm-hmm. The trick would have been if you had killed yourself by magic or some other such method. Yeah.
So if I would have spawned that spirit.
Yeah, if you would have had killed yourself with magic or some other means, then that would have, or like if you actually died in combat with the Force. Because basically these things are cleansers and purifiers and essentially crusaders, and they're constantly met with, people fighting back, but eventually succumbing in some manner, usually to try and end their own suffering, but with the intention of going into the zone to end it and sacrificing yourself, the intention behind it, as well as I think I'm going to have it be also that if you are marked by both, the incompatible response upon your death is also certainly a factor. That's at least what I have in my head, because I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense, Because it's sort of like, okay, yeah, he's just got both zones inside of him at once, and just sort of the gray dying just doesn't make sense because it's an actual mixing of things. I don't know. I mean, either way, the selfless sacrifice, I think, is a more fitting way to get rid of zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. Lutz should go tell the woman who freaked out at Wolf to tell him Wolf has died.
He did.
Thank you for the session, Chris. It was good.
Yeah, thank you.
Very welcome.
Appreciate
Pretty
it.
wild. I like Circle of Hands rotating character.
The
At
funny
first
thing
I
is,
hated it, but
yeah.
I've grown to like it.
yeah, I'm still very surprised that like y'all didn't branch out from like the fan favorites. Like it was only just now that Philibert gets brought in. I found that kind of funny.
Now we
I
just for the
thought it
Pegasus.
was.
But
No,
that
actually,
sometimes
yeah,
happens.
officially everyone's been played except for Chris's character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, Chris.
That's fine. I mean, you guys got into your respective characters, and I think most of them had, pretty well-made, self-contained arcs. Each one had their own development in their own way, which was, I think, it was pretty nice. I mean, Lutz, dealt with a madman of Emborion and ended up, trying to deal with another one. By the way, that was an Eidolon. That was a guide. They were going to try and talk you into killing yourselves.
He succeeded, didn't he?
Yeah.
However, not in the method that he wanted. He was going to try and advocate for the poison thing because it's like, relief from your pain. That's because Eidolons generally try and go for that. That's what the unicorn was all about. However, it was explicitly destroy Urbaja magic as indicated by black color points and gifts, including its users. So, as soon as you stepped in with that black gift, it was like, coming for you, fam. Yeah.
So, why didn't he try to stop me once he knew what I was doing?
He didn't know what you were doing. He's because a guides only experience the person's history, and he didn't actually know what would happen, but he was basically just trying to push for you to off yourself, whatever the manner. So he was trying to push you one way or the other, but
He
I think
succeeded, but it resulted in him getting destroyed.
yeah,
Not getting destroyed, but they retreated, basically.
removed from existence is a more apt descriptor.
Interesting.
Yep.
It was a very interesting session.
Yeah.
What did you have planned for the town, by the way?
There was going to be a guide. That much was for sure.
Like an Eidolon?
Yes. There was going to be essentially the guy that you ran into. There was also going to be a unicorn, but they were going to be tied to the characters. So the unicorn perceived Lotrand, the little kid, to be its sort of special friend. It was just going to be out slaying the Draugr that killed Lotrand's family. And then it was going to return, and then it's just going to escalate. Because basically it starts off as destroy undead, then destroy Urbaja magic, then slay the perpetrators of cruelty and injustice as perceived by its companion, cure and eradicate disease, bring an end to any and all suffering amongst people, the easiest way being to kill them, bring an end to any and all strong emotions among people, as above. Remove the stain of humanity from this place, as they seem to persist in suffering and strong emotion. That is how unicorns do. Meanwhile, the guide would have basically just infiltrated the community, and you can't actually kill a guide. It'll just keep coming back unless it's killed in a specific
Fred
way.
dealt with a guide at some point, didn't he?
I don't think so, no. Actually, yeah, you did. It was during one of the group sessions, I believe. I don't recall what happened with it, though. It was
I
quite
think he
some time
tried to kill him, and then it didn't work.
I don't know. Because the thing is, a guide never fights nor even defends itself.
Well, I think Fred just...
Yeah,
went
Fredge is just
berserk.
a special. So basically, killing it resummons it, so it reappears at the next dawn or dusk with its scores intact, displaying the wounds it received. In this states, its interactions affect whole groups. If an Emborion zone is present, each death of the guide significantly increases its extent. So the Emborion zone would have probably just surrounded the house at that point, literally. The only way to get rid of a guide is to kill it and then establish an Urbaja zone, or when utilizing a white oath. The latter is subtle because destroying an Eidolon isn't in the conditions for such an oath, so one must fold that act into the means towards something else which is eligible.
What
Yeah.
would have happened to the woman who knows Wolf?
She would have been impacted by the guide, because basically once they're in a community, it engages in pleasant dialogue, immediately perceiving a person's entire experiential history, so it has no trouble ingratiating itself with the local community. Soon it offers advice, always some combination of purification by fire, murder by quiet means like poison or suffocation, and suicide. Unnamed characters reliably act upon this advice, which can get out of hand and become much less quiet indeed. So basically, it would have just started whispering in people's ears throughout the town because, all these refugees, we're away from home and blah, 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 and all that. And it would have just, it and the unicorn would have basically just led to a fort full of dead people. But since you removed the zone, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yahoo, yahoo, yahoo.
Audemars got Wolf killed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to the base and tell him that one.
No. The king's favorite henchman.
So, because now it's like, oh, hey, we have the answer now. Selfless sacrifice of someone with both white and black marks can remove zones. So it's like, okay, we basically train people up just to be sacrificial lambs.
Fucking suicide bomber.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's actually really cool. Actually, now that I'm realizing it, like we experimented and we found out the solution.
I'm gonna say they could probably just wipe out magic eventually with that knowledge.
Yeah. And especially, it's sort of the mantra of the circle is almost always the ends justify the means.
Yeah. But at the same time, they have to use magic to get those marks, and using magic causes zones to spawn.
Only certain forms of magic,
Yeah.
namely Wrath and Warp. Those two are the ones that you want to avoid. But basically, if you just cast enough low-level black spells and low-level white spells, you'll have what you need, and then you can go fucking obliterate yourself.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
That was a nice, hope-inspiring ending.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the silence kind of lingered at the end, because it was sort of a nice little conclusion of just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Also,
Sure.
Emborion symbolism of fucking nothing,
Yeah.
Just white noise.
Like unreality.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm
Pretty
tired.
much. Yeah, that was in its own way, it was a bit of an intense emotional session, and sort of, because it was just like, especially I was kind of fucking with you guys with the guide, just being like, you look like you're so tired. Surely you would like to rest. Kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself.
It would have worked for anybody, right? No, it would have only worked as Wolf.
Who knows? I mean,
oh yeah, who knows?
He could have probably eventually gotten to someone's basically I would have just taken a quick glance at everyone's key events and just been like, hey, that's been a long, you've been fighting for so long with that, my gosh.
Yeah, Lutz was gonna kill himself, but then Wolf was like, nah, I got you, fam.
Yeah, I had a feeling Lutz was going out there to go and do the exact same thing, and then it just
he was, yeah.
I just didn't know how to do it.
John's whole plan was to sacrifice himself.
I wanted to fucking, I don't know, I thought I could just say yes, take me, please.
Nope.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what summoned the guide, basically.
True. Which then allowed Wolf to murder himself.
Exactly. It all worked out.
And Lutz
cool.
can continue his fruitful relationship with Tab back at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made some legendary characters in this campaign.
No, you
Honestly, almost every single character has been iconic except for Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's because he
Burn.
hasn't been played.
No,
He's
Burn's
only
been
been-
played
He's been played a
twice.
couple of
He's been
times.
played twice, yeah.
People just keep thinking of him as a womanizer, and it's just like, what?
I think it was kind of conflicting things, both of which never really worked out. Anyway.
But fuck, man, we had we had Audemars, the fucking no shit taking guy who fucked everything up.
Fucking
Uh,
Gentry.
Tab killed Jesta.
Kill
At first,
Jester.
I love how both of John's characters were meme characters, and we turned them into
Listen,
good things.
listen. Same thing with Janaya. Just because it's quote unquote a meme character doesn't mean I don't take it seriously.
Oh no, but like we really fleshed it because that's what I said. I like the whole like collaborative sharing because it doesn't just become one person's character; it becomes our characters.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we all care about them and what happens to them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Although I am sad that
Alrighty.
we never visited the island.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to
Perhaps-
visit that island for 4 years.
Circle of Hands Christmas special. On the island.
Christmas doesn't exist. This is pre-Catholicism.
Pagan holiday. Halloween
Exactly.
special.
Only Lutz believes. Pagan motherfucker.
All right, I need to go make some tea, so I'm gonna go
Alright.
do that.
So, have a good night, everybody.
Same,
Yeah.
same. Thank you, everyone, for participating in Schweikel of Haynes.
Good night.